Hello. Welcome everybody to episode 13 of Shooting the Shit, a Tottenham even talk show with me, leader Dorset Spur. I am today surrounded by my three amigos, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Mason, Dean, and Sweary Alex. You can decide which ones. We can decide which one's which. We probably shouldn't be. We probably shouldn't be the good, the bad, and the ugly. We probably should be the passive, the lazy, and the complacent, maybe, to sum up our Tottenham at the moment. Anyway, so listen. If you guys are happy to start, we'll crack on. Lots to talk about. Obviously, a terrible defeat against Ipswich. Guys, if you're in the stream and you want to leave comments, please feel free to comment. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us what you've got to say. Tell us how you feel about that result against Ipswich and Galatasary, and we'll try and answer your comments and questions as we go. So, I know we've been talking before the stream started, been having a little bit of a rant and a bit of a moan and all the rest of it, but I'll start off. Let's just try and go through it, and my trainers. We'll try and go. We'll try and go through it. We'll try and go through it a bit at a time. So we'll start off. Listen, I'll start off with you, Dean, because you're right there at the top next to me. Overall view of the performance on Sunday. Go.
I really didn't see one, Lee. Honestly,
Put in the pin.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Fair play to Ipswich. I mean, they come out. They're a big physical team. I didn't realise how big they were until sort of they was all wrapped around like Vicario, and you couldn't see him. He was like a little kid in the sweet shop. He was ridiculous. It was like, me, but nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. They was some big units in there. And they done a number on Spurs, but we didn't come to play. We came to make sure that we didn't get hurt and we could still get on that plane, go see our friends, go see our family, and go play for Argentina or Spain or wherever the plane may take you, because we didn't turn up at Spurs. That's for sure. I still ain't gone over it. I really haven't, and I should have done by now. Normally, you go, it's just a game, but it is really, really painful. You go on social media, they're all at it. Everybody is so pissed off because instead of going right, we've won that game, we've turned Ipswich, who haven't won a game yet. Here comes Dr. Tottenham. We've got so many fucking names, us as a team. Dr. Tottenham, really Spursy. No other team's got that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. No other team has got them titles.
No.
But that shows what we are. I don't get it. We should be third now because it should have been an easier game for us. We should have been scoring, but there was no intensity. There was no press. There was no speed. And it's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. We all get there. We all spend our hard-earned money you get up at stupid o'clock to travel there, to get there early, to have some breakfast, and we all meet up. That's the best part of the fucking day, is getting there and meeting everybody. Right? We'll have a few beers, we'll have a bit of a dance on the singing LTs, and all get on up. And you go down there with a lot of hope, right? And it is that hope that kills you. And then we watch that game, and at the end of the game, so many people were pissed off. And the thing I can't get my head around is, when we win, everybody stays behind, right? So the local businesses, Lee makes a load of money because everybody's in the concourse drinking and eating pizza and like, hey, we want to stay and sing. They're there for another couple of hours, yeah? But they don't. Everybody just files out the door in silence. So, he's got to look at it as on a business point of view. He's losing money hand over fist when we lose.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere, like at the end, booing. I get it. I really do. Because, like I said before we come on, if a bricklayer built a brick wall and it was like that, all going down the line, there's no way that the customer would come out and go, "Oh, you've done a really good job, brilliant. Here's your money." They wouldn't. They go, kick that over and start again. And that's what they're doing. If they was paid on performance, they would be going home with no fucking money, that's for sure. Nobody in that team even Ange, would be paid today or on Sunday. Just wouldn't.
No, mate. Let's bring the other guys in here. What they got to say, Alex? Let's come to you. I'm assuming you're feeling very similar to Dean today.
Yes. All day, me and Dean have been salty. We concur. He's been phoned me all 3 times today. Bless him. I could get fuck me. There was no effort. Just watching it like I normally do. Just put it on next to me and have a look. Everyone's walking around. Their first goal. No one's making any fucking effort to get hold of the ball. I mean, his overhead kick is great, but for Cario, he's on his line. You don't stay on your line. You don't stand on the fucking line. You'll come forward a couple of meters or so. Therefore, you're making the goal smaller. So he ain't got a fucking clue. He's been bullied about. We just wasn't there. We just was not there. And the thing is, I said earlier, every team that comes to Tottenham, it's their fucking FA Cup, World Cup. They want to turn us over. So they come with spirit and, with the intentions of fucking beating us. And at the moment, shit teams like them Muppets have done it. And the players ain't bothered. And what they do, when they do score, yeah. You there, can you hear me? Hello, Lee's froze. Or have I froze?
No, I see you.
Yeah. Lee, you there?
No, he's gone. That's it. He's so... That's how pissed off Lee is, right? Lee is so pissed off. He stuck himself a cardboard cutout in front of the thing and then sodded off down the pub. That's what, he's that pissed off.
Oh, mate. But no, it was absolute dog shit. And the thing is, like I said, not only that, you've got away fans in the East Stand now. Loads of them all taking the piss. And it's just getting really winding me up, sort of thing, But our team,
I think that's it. I think that's the occasion now, Al, isn't it? If you was winning and you was turning them over, if we was winning and turning them over, you'd be sort of at them and going, mate, you sit there and be happy because you would, right? But because they're turning us over, it flips the coin,
mate. Honestly, the whole atmosphere, though, Dean. I mean, you had grief, didn't you? And I had a bit of grief because it just changes the whole atmosphere when you're watching Tottenham play a piss pot team that's just come up, sort of thing, and we're getting turned over by them. And yet the last few games we've done City. You can't beat Ipswich. Where's the continuity? There is none. But they just can't be bothered. Hey, here he is.
Oh, sorry.
Don't tell him what I said.
The internet dropped out, and I'm totally lost trying to get back on. What a nightmare!
Don't worry. There was no mention of trainers, mate.
No, that's good. Luckily for me, I got to miss all your talking because
sorry, mate.
You're quite boring anyway.
Yes. Well, fucking hell, you want to listen to you, mate? Honestly, I only talk to you because I feel sorry for you. Go on.
Thanks, mate. Let me bring some. I'm sure you've made your point, right? So let me just.
Yeah, it's just frustrating.
Let me just move on to someone who can talk a bit sensibly. Someone who with a different perspective. Someone who's got a little bit more sense about him. I'm going to come to Mason.
Hang on, I'll get his mum.
Mason, give me some positives if you can. What's your view of the overall game on Sunday?
There's a positive. Ready to listen.
There's a positive, but not for us. I'll tell you that right now. Not for us. No, not for us.
Tractor.
No, I think the only thing I can take away from that game is that Liam Delap actually might be. I reckon he'll make a big move this summer. Did you see the way he played? I think Liam Delap is a great player, but at the same time, there's no positives to take away from that game at all. I mean, the only thing I can say is that I've got a little stat here ready at the moment. Is that if there's a stat here, right? It's a process. Okay, should we have beat Ipswich? Yes.
Yes.
The stat I've got here is that the top 4 Premier League managers after their first 50 games, Jurgen Klopp had 26 points, Mikel Arteta had 26 points, Pep Guardiola had 36, and Ange's 25. Only 1 point behind the other two. But then again, it should be 28. So take that as you will, but it is a process. It is at the same time, we should have fucking wiped the floor with them lot. But it's going to happen at some point. We are going to lose these shit teams. We always
Not
struggle
twice.
against We've always struggled against a low block shit team like that. But I'll give Ipswich give them their dues. They played better than I thought they would. They didn't sit back for 90 minutes. They played all right. But it's always these shit teams in the low block when they're defending. We can't break them down. And I think that's why Ange said at the end of the game that he kind of takes responsibility for that, because it's every game we play, these shit relegation sides, they sit back and do fuck all.
Well, they play with.
They do though, Mason. They sit back and then they put a ball over the top.
Yep.
Right? So when we're playing so high, they put the ball over the top. We've got two people
Right
running in on it. Right?
Yeah,
So they're either gonna commit a foul, get a penalty, or at least, if they get a foul, they're within like meters of our goal. So that's their game plan.
Well, the first goal.
What I'm going to say, hang on, this is what I'm going to say. When that scenario usually happens, who's there to stop it?
Van der Ven.
Van der Ven, and he's gone, and Ange has got no contingency plan. As soon as Van der Ven gets out the squad, exactly, but he doesn't. He's arrogant. That's what I've always said. Like even to the old man, Ange is great. I love his football. I love his football style and whatever, but he's too arrogant. He won't switch up even against Chelsea. That sums it up brilliantly. It's the way we play. Well, yeah, fair enough. It's the way you play. But you're down to 9 men. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough, you want your style to stay, but surely you adapt to different circumstances. If like that game as well, Van der Ven was off. He had to come off. When he's out the squad, there is no contingency plan.
I've got to be honest. All right, I just kept picking out a couple of points that you made. Right, I personally didn't think that Ipswich were too much of a low block team. I thought they actually played quite well. Ipswich. I thought they tried to come at us. They didn't just sit and hold and all the rest of it. But as soon as you get a goal in front, you're going to be in a situation where you're forcing the other team to do the work, right? But for me, the biggest issue in my mind was Tottenham were just so slow, so laboured that it was back to back. The one for me who really annoyed me, if I'm being honest, was Romero. I've got a lot of time for Romero. I think he's a really great defender, last-ditch tackles and stuff like that. When he's playing offensively and he's pushing up, he's good with the ball at his feet and all the rest of it. But because he's pushing up so much, and I've said this before, because he's pushing up so much, gets caught out of position, who's going to mop it up? Van der Ven's not there, so we've got Dragushin, who's 23 years of age, supposed to be a great defender, but he's not the pace of Van der Ven. He's not the positional nous of Van der Ven, and he messes up. And so you're always then going to be on the back foot. And I just felt that watching him on Sunday, it was just side to side. And of course, Ipswich are going to sit there and lap that up. They're going to sit there and watch you do that all day long. They're thinking, well, you ain't hurting us from here. You're the home team. You're Billy Big Bollocks of a team. You're supposed to be the ones that are breaking us down and doing something about it. And it just wasn't going anywhere, in my view. And I do wonder, I know we touched on it before we went on live, about the international break. The fact that when we have this international break, we're losing. Are the players as committed to winning that game as we are as fans wanting us? We could have gone third in that scenario. All right, it's early in the season and all the rest of it, but does it matter to them? Does it matter enough to be going third when you're now sitting in 10th or whatever it is? Okay, there's only a few points difference between that and third or whatever the points has, but says more about the other team's performance than it does about us, right? Because we should be winning our games. It's all well and good, and we've said this before. It's all well and good beating Villa. It's all well and good beating Man City in the Carabao Cup, but you've got to beat everybody.
Yeah,
you've got to beat all these teams, especially the ones who you are expecting to win. But again, I'm going to come to you, Dean, on this point around it, right? Is this an issue of complacency? Because all of us was going, we should beat Ipswich. We're good enough to beat Ipswich and all the rest of it. If we're thinking it, are the players thinking it? Is that the problem? Complacency?
Oh, very much so. But at the same time, Ipswich have been playing well, and they've been unlucky getting beaten. The amount of times they could have got a point or could have won the game, but just doing a Spurs thing where they shipped a couple of goals in at the end. So they're not shit. They're not a shit team. But they done a number on us. They really did. But at the same time, we didn't play. Right? Five before the international break, we lost. Right? 5 games we lost before the international break. And we just don't play well. You look at Schmodics, that overhead kick, right? About 3 or 4 times now, that's where our goal has come, the opposition goal has come from. It's come over from our left to our right into that space where nobody is. That's where Porro, that's where Brennan is supposed to be dropping into, right? Or Romero is supposed to be pushing into that place. None of them were around him. So he had all the time in the world to have his back to goal, the ball to come over, and him to jump up like a bleeding like a ballet dancer and flick it in the back of the net.
Yeah, but
Nobody came anywhere near him.
It looked to me like Johnson pulled out. It looked to me like Johnson pulled out.
He did it. That goal was his fault. That goal was his fault. He could have put a foot in.
He could have come forward. He could have come towards him. He could have come towards him and stopped him.
He just watched the ball fall to his feet, which was poor.
He does. Yeah, he just watches it. But the thing is, over Vicario, you don't stay on your line like that. You really don't.
The thing is, Al, you shouldn't have to come off your line because your defence should push up to the attack.
Oh yeah.
And push and get him off the ball. You watch all the big teams, right? They're always like in the shoulder, pushing them over, sort of messing about. You can't give him that much room. The ball's in the air, right? The ball's in the air from our left. So you've got all that time to come. And our big Schmodics, he's free foot, and he. I mean, I know it's fucking Christmas, but he's he's an elf. He should be in an old pub by now, fucking wrapping up presents a prick. But no, he puts one in the back of the fucking net. So that's what I don't get. So I just want us to do better. If we can see it, right, as fans that are plums, we go to the game, we turn up in a minibus or in the car, have a few beers, something to eat, sausage. None of us could run the length of that fucking pitch without fucking getting to the other end and chuck it up, right? We couldn't. We just physically couldn't. But these are like athletes. These are high-paid athletes. They should be able to do it. And I just don't. If we can see it, and you go, like, mark him, and he don't. It's just like, here he comes.
There's 6 of them in the box. 6 of them. And they couldn't fucking get to it.
No. But we should be stopping the cross.
Stopping them before.
In the first place. Yeah. Listen, I just had this comment from Hasper TV, right? It's the manager's job to motivate the players. Even for games like this, he does nothing on the touchline, even when we're losing.
Stands there. Yes.
Alex, let me come to you. Give you a chance to speak about it, right? But when Ange Postecoglou goes, it's my fault, I take responsibility, it's up to me to fix it and all the rest of it. Do you believe he's going to? Like, in my mind, I'm not, I don't, because everyone says that he's a great motivator, right? He's a great motivator and all the rest of it, right? But when you're watching him on the sidelines, it doesn't give that impression, right?
Yeah, no, he doesn't do anything, does he? He just stands there. I mean, we don't know what he says in the changing room, and I think we've said before, he just lets them get on with it. But you look at any other manager, they're motivating their team, or he's telling his players on the pitch what he can see, what they can't. You know, he's giving them directions. He doesn't do anything. He just sits there looking like he's going to a funeral. You know, with his hands in his pockets. They might get raised every now and then. I just don't know what kind of style of management, leadership, or whatever. It must be an Australian thing. It must be an Australian qualification, because he doesn't do anything, and it just doesn't make sense. You know, like Dean said, if we can see where they're going wrong, what is he doing then? And he doesn't say anything. You can't wait till half time and go, "Oh, I've noticed we've been doing this, that, and the other." He's got to fucking show some motivation. And that's and on the interviews, "Oh yeah, it's my fault." Well, we can all do that, but you know, he just doesn't come across like he's bothered.
Yeah, well, I don't know how many times he can say that. Yeah, I'll fix that,
because it gets boring. Well, if you're no good at your job and you keep saying, "Sorry, Gov, I fucked that up. Sorry, Gov, I've done the same mistake again. Sorry, Gov," they're out. Yeah, off you go. So what's he waiting for? A payout? like a big payout like they all get.
I
So
don't know.
none of them are fucking bothered. They should get a manager in there that's related to the club or has got spirit and passion for the club, but wants the club to succeed. Not just get these mercenaries in there in 5 minutes, take the money, do shit job and go. Or they have a row of Levy and they go. I mean, how many managers have we had now? Fucking stupid. 15, I think it is. Something stupid like that.
I think it's more than that. Mason, sorry to cut you.
Yeah, go on.
I want to, because Mason.
I've got to calm down.
Mason wanted to make a point. Go on, Mason. You were going to say something, and I don't want to just let your dad go on and on and on.
Go off on one. No, it's just I don't get the whole manager thing. It's who are you going to get in? You're not going to get anyone else in with a caliber. I saw a comment earlier about he's out of his depth. He's not out of his depth. People have already said he's a great manager. Even Pep said just Tottenham need to stick with him, crack on. He's not out of his depth. If he's winning against top sides, Man United away, right? If you said that before he signed, Ange's going to make us dominate at Man United away or get a massive result at City away. I get this all last season, Arsenal away, whatever. Then you'd say he's in his depth, wouldn't you? If he can cope with the big boys, then yeah, he's well within his depth. But I just think it needs a finely tuning. It's as I say, we said this last time when we lost to Palace after that meltdown. It's a rework. Everyone wants a rebuild. Everyone wants a rework until it's time for a rebuild. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, but it just.
Hold on. Let me come in on there, right? So I get what you're saying, and I agree, right? Everyone wants a rebuild until they're in a rebuild. Yep. I think that you don't get to the level where you can pick up a job like this if you haven't got credentials or ability, right? And everyone like outside talks about Ange as a good moment. And listen, when we listen to him talk, when he does his interviews and all the rest of it, he talks really, really well. He's got great empathy. He understands from a fan's point of view and all the rest of it. What I'm seeing at the moment is a man that's under a great deal of pressure. But where's that coming from? Like, how can you have a performance like that against Aston Villa, right? And then go like that against Ipswich, right? With technically the same players playing the same way and all the rest of it. That can't just be the manager not being good enough.
No,
there's got to be something in there. And Ange actually said after the thing when we were talking about they were talking about the tactics of Ipswich, slowing the game down, constant fouls and all that sort of stuff. That they were using that time to get to talk about tactics or what they needed to do and all the rest of it. Well, why is Ange not doing that then? Like,
exactly.
If you're the manager and you can see it slowing down, why are you not saying to your players, look, this is a tactic, don't get sucked into it, get the ball moving faster. You're moving too slow. You're taking too many touches. You're dwelling on the ball, whatever it might be. I just don't get that bit of it.
Ange's biggest flaw is his arrogance. I said it last season when he joined. I said, it's all good playing this football, but he hasn't got a plan B. He has not got a plan B. When we lose a player, it's about the way we play. When we're down to 9 men, it's about the way we play. You need to adapt. I get Ange wants to instill the new philosophy. Maybe this is the way to do it, to drill it into their head that you have to play like this no matter what. But at the same time, it's stressful watching us play the way we play when we haven't got the equipment to do so. Like, you can't play a high line when you've got 2 centre-backs who are not the fastest in the world, but they're not slow, but they're nothing compared to Van der Ven. We can play that high line with Van der Ven because of his pace. I don't understand. It's like I see Dragazin as a Romero build. Right, like on the right, I think he's a brick shithouse. He doesn't move. He's there. He's ready. He's solid. I don't see the same qualities in Van der Ven as Radu Dragazin. I don't see Dragazin being agile, mobile, running the speed on him. I don't see that in him. So when we're playing 2 centre-backs of the same build in the high line, of course it's not going to work. But how come we can see that, but Ange can't? I think it just comes down to his arrogance.
So why is he buying? Dragushin, right? Is he buying Dragushin to be the cover for Romero then?
Yeah.
And then he needs somebody who's going to be the fast, backup for Van der Ven. And
100%.
that's where we need to. But to your point, right? If you know that player's in that build and you're going to use him for that, then you can't use him to be your racehorse who's going to go flying back like a madman and make a last ditch tackle for that. He needs to be further back. He needs to be more defensive.
100%.
Dean, I want to come to you. One of the things that's really pissed me off, if I'm being honest, because I hear it so often, right? Every time this team loses, we get the same old platitudes coming out from all of the players, right? We've seen Sonny. He's come out and apologised. We've seen Porro is another one who's come out and even Romero and that. And it's the same old shit about, we'll come back stronger and all of this. Is it just me, or is everybody else just fed up with hearing those same old proper sound bites, media trained nonsense? You want them to come out and go, we were shit today. I don't know what's going on. Dean, talk to me. What is it just me?
Yeah, give me the honesty. That's all we want. We want the honesty. When you watched Ipswich, right? I know it's a little bit off topic. When you see Ipswich going down, and a lot of teams do it, they go down. Oh, I've got cramp, or I've got to pull the muscle. Bring on the trainer. They all then go to the manager and get more information. They get, where do we want to go? How do we want to play this? Right? They're doing this. They're going down the left. They're going down the right. When Ipswich were all round their manager, our players should have been all round their manager, going, right, let's get some information on. This is where they're beating us. This is what I can see. I've got people up in like the director's box and they're seeing this, this and this. But we didn't do none of that. We've done none of the dark arts, none of the falling down, none of the wasting time, none of that at all. So, yeah, when the players come out and do their thing on the social media, I'm so sorry, we let you down. I feel sorry for the fans.
We'll come back stronger. We'll work together.
We're not working together because it's down to you. Because we know, right? We would give our left bollock to fucking run up and down that pitch in a fucking full kit just for 10 minutes, right? Just to be on the Spurs pitch and go, I made it. I was there. That was me, right? These lot, it's just a job for them. If they win, they get paid. They go home to their mansion and their wags, right? If they lose, they get paid. They go back to their mansion, their swimming pool and their wags, right? It means fuck all to them, win, lose or draw. But I'd love to see a team to go, right, okay, we're going to do like performance-related pay. If you're shit, right, if you lose and you get turned over because the other team was that much better, then I get it. If you lose because you played so poorly, right, you didn't put the effort in, yeah, and they go, oh, yeah, but look at the stats. We've done more passes than Ipswich. Yeah, you did, because fucking Romero passed the Dragons in about 20,000 fucking times. Backwards and forwards. It was like a fucking set of windscreen wipers, mate. It was like that. Fucking Vicario was like it was at tennis, watching it go backwards and side to side. Yeah. And then when we did have a chance to go forward, right, we brought Ipswich onto us. Then go over the top. We've got the speed of bloody Brennan Johnson. Didn't use him once. Like, mate, this game has fucked me off more than any game that I've watched in such a long time. And I do apologise for my language and my rant.
No, it's true though, Dave. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, it is. No, it is. And I think this is the important thing, right? Is that, you can lose a football match. We can lose a football match. I get it, right? It happens. Every team can lose, and we've said this before. We've seen City losing, we've seen Arsenal losing, and all the rest of it. So any team can beat any team on their day and all that. But it's the manner of the defeat that's the big problem for me. The manner of this defeat is the one that really gets under my skin, because you could see it happening all day long. I had a conversation with Chris just when we was in the Gilpin, and I did a little thing with him, and he's going on, do you think Dr. Tottenham's going to come on? I'm like, don't say it, don't say Spursy, don't say Dr. Tottenham and all the rest of it, because this shouldn't happen in this game. And lo and behold, we have a Dr. Tottenham moment, and we are where we are, and that's why 2 days on we're still really bitter and twisted and angry about it, because it's just. And now we've got this poxy international break, where we're going to sit there and stew on it until the next game, and our next game just happens to be Man City away, a team that hasn't won in 4 games, that are going to be looking for a win. So, and we're going into a bit more of a difficult thing. Alex, just going to come to you on this point, right? I've been talking about Ange and that, and I can feel how you're getting really wound up about it, and that, right? But do you think that overall fan pressure is building on Ange now, or is this just social media stuff? And because it's whoever shouts the loudest gets heard, do you think overall that like the fans are now turning?
It's embarrassing. That's what it is. That's what I say. It's embarrassing. Sunday was embarrassing. Will Ange listen? Does anyone listen to the fans? They don't listen. Like Mason said, he's arrogant. I think people will change their minds sooner or later if it carries on, as seen in the past. But I don't think he's bothered, mate. To be honest with you, I don't think he's. He might mention the pressure that the fans that are giving him. He's not bothered. He's too thick-skinned. He's too thick-skinned.
But do you think that the pressure is just social media crap, or do you think there is real pressure building on him now?
No, I don't think there is. As I say, I don't think he cares. He probably doesn't even look at social media.
No, I'm talking about from the club. What I'm trying to get to is it just a load of people on Twitter complaining and saying Ange out? Or do you think that there is a lot of fans or a lot of pressure building within the club with Levy, the board, and all the rest of it? Do you think they're influenced by the fans or anything?
No, I think the management and the fans, mate, they just shut us off. They're not interested. So all the social media, all the pressure, whether it's from management or the fans, they're in their own little bubble, Lee. I don't think it affects them at all. Listening, listening to on TalkSport, Simon White and all that, and he says they're not interested in the fans. They've got a plan. You could say what you like. They're not going to listen. You're not going to sway their decisions, and they certainly don't think they're under pressure from the fans. Because, like I say, they're in a different bubble. So it's all just hype on social media. The only people that are getting wound up and showing a bit of passion are the fans. Us 4 and a few 100,000 people as well. They're not interested, mate. They're not interested.
Yeah, no, I get it. He's just trying to get that sense of where do we go from here. Like Mason said, who do you replace him with and all the rest of it. And you made a point about having someone who's connected to the club, who cares about the club and all the rest of it. I genuinely feel that Ange does want to be at Tottenham. I feel that he wants to be successful. And